Hey majors, have you ever felt unqualified? Have you ever felt overwhelmed and maybe even out of place? To a certain extent, we are unqualified to the call God has on our life. And it makes sense to feel overwhelmed. But we know that God does not call the qualified, but He qualifies the called. We can see this through many biblical characters as well. I'm sure people like Joseph and Esther had times of feeling overwhelmed and underqualified. But today I want to highlight Moses. We see in biblical servant leadership, biblical leadership starts in unseen realms with God and then moves to the internal life and experience of the person that is unique to that person, but begins with call from God and encounter with God. As we read this through the story of Moses, we can identify that he felt unqualified for various reasons and tried to get out of being the one who led Israel out of Egypt in both Exodus 3 and 4. But it says in Exodus 3:10 through 15, "Come, I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt." But Moses said to God, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the children of Israel out of Egypt?" He said, "But I will be with you, and this shall be the sign for you, that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God on this mountain." Then Moses said to God, "If I come to the people of Israel and say to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' What shall I say to them?" God said to Moses, "I am who I am." And he said, "Say this to the people of Israel, 'I am has sent me to you.'" God also said to Moses, "Say this to the people of Israel, 'The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and thus I am to be remembered throughout all generations." But we also see here a unique experience with God and Moses, where God tells Moses his name. This encounter changed Moses' life. God came to Moses as the God of I am, not as the God of the past or the God of his fathers, which he still is and highlights that aspect in a verse later, but he is a personal God. This is a new name for God here, and it is a deeply personal name with a purpose of encounter. This name calls for encounter with God. God is a God of I am to us. He sees us individually and cares for us. This is the part of the call we have in our lives. We continue to see Moses and how he led as a biblical servant leader. And yes, he definitely gets frustrated sometimes. But we can also see that Moses was deeply humble. See Numbers 12:3. And had a personal relationship with God. The Lord spoke to Moses face to face as a man speaks with a friend, as we read about in Exodus 33:11. As biblical servant leaders, we are not called because we are qualified, but because the call on our lives God has put on us. When we focus on why we are qualified, we should reflect on the need to have a relationship with our personal God. He doesn't want to only be the God of our family and not just the God of my parents and my grandparents or whatever the case may be for you, but a personal God that I have personal encounters with. My identity, my faith, it is all grounded in my relationship with God. And when we have this mindset, this is when we can often see humility working in our life as a biblical servant